Thank you so much for joining us today. Means a lot to have you here. All of us would love to know what your startup does.
Definitely. So after two pivots previously in the last 3 years, at the moment I'm building an educational platform for early stage founders or entrepreneurs for Bharat, where we focus on their early stage journeys, primarily from idea to early paying customers. So this idea, got evolved through the experience of talking to, most of the founders or entrepreneurs, where I noticed that the couple of, repeated mistakes are there. For example, where is my customer? Or I have a deep belief that, hey, this is going to be the next business which dies in 6 months, right? So what if we curate? I mean, that's how I came to conclusion and started building this thing. So, what if I curate all the state of the art and best practices from all the successful startups across from the globe, and try avoiding those mistakes, which is done by failed startups who tried their best, but mostly they could not avoid reinventing the wheel. So, focusing on that's what I'm building for mostly Bharat entrepreneurs.
Very interesting, Ashish. So is this so? Do you see more people finding co-founders, within this community that you built, or is it somewhere where people come and get inspiration and they want to become first-time founders?
Yeah, that's interesting. So this idea came. I started off as a co-founder, like finding your co-founder kind of a group. That was the earlier idea or my hypothesis. But I realized that all the talents are there. For example, both the sides have the great talent, great skills, techies or non-techies. But the problem lies a little bit deeper, where suppose I'm expecting too much irrational, data. For example, what is the equity? So I will say 10% randomly. So that homework was missing. That's the reason all the talents are not getting this, matchmaking thing. So then this idea evolved. So at the moment, both the things are being solved. People, we got around 660 plus solo or founder or entrepreneurs, and so they are talking to each other. They are increasing the probability of this co-founder matchmaking. At the same time, we are curating, like I personally are curating this program for so both the things are being handled.
Very interesting, Ashish. One of the challenges or rather opportunities, with building a network or a community is figuring out how to monetize it, right? So how
True.
have you thought about, generating revenue
Yes.
out of this network that you've built?
Luckily, I've started, monetizing the early few set of customers. The thing which we are because the very simple economics formula is you create a value of 100 rupees for somebody, then you take a small part of the value. So I try to, in the first call, I try to explain those to the founders or enthusiasts that, hey, the opportunity cost is high if you have left your job. If you're not leaving job, you're doing something, then definitely time is the essence. So why not compress the time and get out of it, get best out of it, and that's how I'm getting the early revenue. Yes.
No, I think that's an interesting insight, Ashish. And I would also love to know how you manage everything, right? Because when you have so many people interacting, so many
True.
people talking to each other, and there would be communication from your end also that's going out.
Hmm.
So as a product, how do you manage everything and how does it look?
Uh, true. So this is the learning after in the last two idea or hypothesis, I killed it badly because of the same early stage founders mistakes. For example, I invested heavily on my product, two marketplaces. One was on SaaS, one was on financial, like payment solutions, something like payment gateway, and they both died miserably. So at the moment, I'm not investing anything in the product. At the moment, I'm doing everything manually. For example, I'm helping Rishabh. So in the next four sessions, one session is going to be we're going to discuss on the idea part, how to validate it, how to find the real idea which is required or loved by the people, where people are paying you, because monetary term is required. Otherwise, it's going to be charity, and charity doesn't sustain, right? Second thing, we are going to talk about the very critical question: where is my first paying customer? So we follow the same formulas, couple of like how many customers we need to talk to get to know that, hey, this is the burning problem for one customer who's ready with the money to pay you. And that's how the thing starts. Third thing, we are going to talk about the product. Suppose it's validated. Now, which percentage or how much percentage of the product should be developed, so that your opportunity cost will be saved and you will only be building those 10% crucial part of the product, maybe API, maybe a regular YouTube video, maybe a WhatsApp group. That's fine. Nobody cares about the high end technology until it's solving the problem. So let the customers validate it. And the last session we have on in investment part, because uh, I say that it's a, you know, we come on the conclusion very quickly that, hey, this person raised money, but what was the journey? We have no clue. I mean, interestingly, I'm a very fond of the Naukri.com Sanjeev Bikhchandani's story, right? So I mean, on the surface level, I'd never the idea that how much effort he had to put in, like for 3 4 years, 3 jobs, like 2 jobs plus his startup. So we thought, I mean, I had an impression that, hey, he was from IIM Ahmedabad, got the job, left the job, started, boom. But it never was the story. He had to pay a heavy price and he was focused on the sustainable business. Even early days of his, in the early days, he denied the money from ICICI Bank, a strategic partner. Later on, because of some reasons, he took it. So there's so much details into that. So we share the case studies also, that at what
Yeah,
stage investment is required.
yeah,
If not, so all the
absolutely.
if yeah,
Yeah, no, I think very important to learn from others, tap into that existing knowledge base, right?
true,
So just
yeah,
before we, run out of time, just a quick last question, Ashish. A lot of early stage founders would benefit a lot from being part of your network and being part of Find Your Founder. What is the easiest
yes.
way that they can join and be part of it?
WhatsApp link. People join us, and I'll start bombarding with the actionable insight, not mere media-based gyan. Like what to do next. Hey, where's my first customer? Where's my money? That's a question I help most of the them with.
Absolutely. Sounds good, Ashish. We'll look forward to hearing more from you and, do reach out to all of us, reach out to folks in our network and, would love for all of them to benefit from your community. So yeah,
Thanks,
thank you so
Rishabh.
much
Thanks.
for building what you're building, for contributing to the ecosystem and also for joining us today. So yes,
My
thank you.
pleasure, Rishabh. Thanks for your time too. Bye bye.